Hey guys, Martin here bringing a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk about a big meme in the Dokkan community, possibly the biggest meme in the Dokkan community now. I mentioned this in a video talking about Baby, it might have even been one of the videos yesterday, but obviously this year with Dokkan, the 10th anniversary, they've been doing lots of interesting things. They've been doing lots of different things, introducing new stuff, give new tickets. There's been more ways than ever before to get summons, and all of this stuff going on during the 10th year. The anniversary, obviously, to kick everything off, was probably the greatest celebration in the history of the game so far. And throughout the year, they have continued to do some very interesting things. And there's also been a lot of stuff that's come to the game that has been sort of much awaited or much anticipated, right? You know, even though Golden Week was a little bit of a fumble in terms of the overall quality, I think, of the two main headliners and arguably of the celebration itself. I mean, Hit was obviously decent at the time of release. Kaioken Goku was just really disappointing. The banner units weren't particularly good, and then obviously Kale Caulifla as the Part 2 LR was decent. But the Hit versus Blue Goku is a dual Dokkan Fest that people have wanted in the game for quite some time. It's one of the things that basically always comes up whenever you ask people about, like, you know, what do you want to see as the New Year Dual Dokkan Fest? What do you want to see as Golden Week? Like, whenever there's a Dual Dokkan Fest, what do you guys want to see? And the Hit versus Kaioken Goku is something that would come up quite a lot. So they finally brought that to the game this year as well. Obviously the big one we're still waiting for is Daima. There definitely needs to be some representation of that, as they've waited so long already. I'm very much on board. I've mentioned it a bunch of times in videos. I think at this point, with the fact that we haven't had the Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku and like Adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, we haven't had those yet. It feels like they have to be saving them for the anniversary, unless they're going to do the thing they did with Superhero and have like the New Year Dual Dokkan Fest be LRs and be Daima. But aside from Daima, a lot of stuff that people have wanted to see come to the game have come to the game this year. And of course, we just recently got Dokkan Fest Baby, and I joked about in the video that he was almost as big of a meme as LR Kid Buu, because, you know, whenever there was going to be an upcoming Dokkan Fest, if there was no hint at all and it was just like a filler Dokkan Fest, Baby would always be one of the names that would be thrown out as a possibility. And then, of course, anytime there was even a reasonable size celebration and there was any kind of hint that it was going to be GT related, Baby being one of the characters has always been a speculation. And now we finally have Dokkan Fest Baby in the game. So regardless of how good he is and your thoughts on him, check out the video I made last night about my thoughts on him, whether he was worth the wait. Give me your opinions over there. But another character coming to the game that has been awaited for a long time. Could we finally see an LR Kid Buu coming to the game this year? I mean, they've already waited so long, right? I mean, this is the last premium Kid Buu that actually released, the STR Dokkan Fest Kid Buu, who released in 2021, December 2021 for JP. So he's almost 4 years old at this point. Obviously, he Easy Aid during the, well, it was just, actually, it was before the anniversary, like right before. It was part of the New Year Dual Dokkan Fest, like, celebration, I guess, essentially. But he Easy Aid in January this year. And he's a pretty decent unit, good on Easy A, but obviously he's not the LR Kid Buu that we have all been waiting so patiently for. Now, the interesting thing is, a long time ago, as you guys probably know, many years back, which led to the release of the LR Vegeta Blue, Dokkan had the legendary election thing, where people got to vote on any one of these characters to receive an LR. And I can't remember if they specifically said at the time that it was mainly just the fact that the winner was going to be the one that would get an LR first, but that slowly but surely, like, they would do the other units. And it's interesting to think because Vegeta Blue won, which was actually kind of like, a lot of people thought it was a controversial, like, outcome, right? Obviously a lot of people voted for Vegeta Blue, but I mean more so that, like, people were disappointed that people had voted for Vegeta Blue, not necessarily because they didn't want to get a new Vegeta Blue in the game, but I remember the discussion being had at the time, the fact that Vegito Blue, being one of these big hype fusion characters, anniversary level character, he was always going to get other LRs, right? And there's been other LRs that have released since this, the STR free-to-play one, that are either just Vegito Blue or transform into Vegito Blue, or even, like, you know, as much as people don't like it, the GDC, like, have an active skill with Vegito Blue. So, like, this guy didn't necessarily need to win the LR election, I guess, is more sort of the point that people were going for, because especially back then there wasn't a lot of representation for some of these characters at all. Like, some of these guys either weren't in the game or just had like ATUR or something like Team Bardock, right? Individual SSRs for them, like the Great Ape ones. I think this was even before the free-to-play team was a thing. Which, yeah, it must have been, because you got the LR Bardock for doing the whole team, right? So a lot of these ones have eventually come out. And if we go back and look, there's a couple that are sort of in the game, but with like an asterisk, I guess. So you've got Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We've got plenty of those. Vegito Blue. Then we got Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. In terms of being an LR, obviously that wasn't until just under a year ago, right? The December 2024. Super Saiyan Trunks Future. I mean, I think was the physical one. I guess the physical one doesn't count, right? So like, we've got the Sword of Hope one now, so I guess that would count for this guy. There's probably another one I'm forgetting. Fusion Zamasu. Obviously, we got a couple of LRs for him now, including the ones with Rose or like with the transformation. Then, of course, there's our boy Kid Buu, still MIA. Metal Cooler Army, we eventually got as a Battlefield LR. Golden Frieza, we have as, of course, the AGL LR, and we have the new tech one that reverse exchanges with Gogeta. Now, Beerus is one of the ones I would say, like, with an asterisk, right? Because we got LR Beerus and Whis, but we still don't have a standalone LR Beerus. So, obviously, that would be kind of cool, especially, like, a Beerus with the Hakai, we still don't really have, and that's, like, a really cool animation in current Dokkan, like, standards would be really, really cool. So, we do have an LR with Beerus, but it is Beerus and Whis. Then Team Bardock, as obviously we already mentioned, there's the free-to-play version of them. Ultimate Gohan, we got the AGL one from the Golden Week 2024, is a straight-up just a Ultimate Gohan LR. Then the next one, I guess that has the asterisk, right, is Master Roshi, Goku, and Krillin. Because I guess technically, like, we got the Dokkan Fest Master Roshi that has the art with Goku and Krillin, and obviously we've gotten the DB Saga version, but like we don't have an LR that is like the three of them together as an actual LR. I guess technically, to be fair, this one is one that we just don't have because we are talking about LRs. So the fact that we have a Dokkan Fest TUR, whether he has the art or whether it was a Joint Forces card or not, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're talking about LRs here. So this is kind of like the main one that hasn't happened, and we do have DB Saga LRs. Like we've got like Kid Goku, Bulma, and Krillin as like the free-to-play TURs and stuff. Oh, wait, actually no, they're an LR, aren't they? Yeah, the LR One Piece, but that's obviously not Master Roshi. So this one is one that is still missing and could definitely be an interesting addition in the future. And then, of course, Great Saiyan Man 1 and 2 ended up being a friend summon character. Cell and Cell Jr., we obviously have the physical one. And then Demon King Piccolo, we actually got, it was, I guess the World Tournament one was the first one, but we also do have another one now in the form of the AGL free-to-play one that came out during the anniversary. So if we cross off all of the ones here that have actually got LRs, the only ones remaining are Roshi with Kid Goku and Krillin, because obviously we have the standalone Roshi from like the Tournament of Power, but that's obviously not the same thing. Beerus, it could still be there if we don't want to include Beerus and Whis. And then obviously Kid Buu is the big one. So that is the main one that people are still waiting for. And to be honest, like, speculation has come back up for this guy because obviously he's on Battle of Fate. So imagine if he was like the Part 2 LR for this baby celebration, like he would be on Baby's team. In terms of, actually, he's not on Terrifying Conquerors, is he? Because he's not really conquering, he's just destroying. So he's actually not on Baby's full leader skill, but he would still be under his 170 and the 200% HP because of Battle of Fate. But the thing about an LR Kid Buu is, like, look at the categories that this guy is on, right? if we're talking about just for like extreme stuff, artificial life forms, Martian power, planetary destruction, sworn enemies, worldwide chaos, uncontrollable power, demonic power. Like, this guy's on a ton of crazy categories, and then obviously he is on things like Buu Saga, Resurrected Warriors, Transformation Boost, Storied Figures, Legendary Existence, Accelerated Battle. So, like, Kid Buu is on so many teams. Now, I know people would probably be, after all this time, if he's going to finally release, people would be wanting him to be a Dokkan Fest LR. But, I mean, we've seen with how good Rose and Zamasu and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta were, that a unit can be a Carnival LR and still obviously be incredibly good. I mean, with PyCon on release and Tien, I guess, like, yellow coin LRs can still be really good as well. And then they obviously have 2 categories with 200%. So, like, imagine an LR Kid Buu dropping that has, like, artificial life forms and then, like, demonic power or something, like 200% lead. Would be pretty crazy. As a Carnival LR, I feel like they just would end up having to give him, like, Martian power, 220, right? Probably wouldn't be Buu Saga specifically, but Martian power, artificial life forms would obviously be good, or worldwide chaos, but I could see him being a 220 for Martian power. But if he's a Dokkan Fest, then that obviously gives a lot of potential, because, you know, some of these LRs having 2 or 3 leader skills, artificial life forms, worldwide chaos, throw in like uncontrollable power, and then you throw on like his plus 50%, so like Martian power, demonic power, and battle of fate or something like that, right? And so many, or sworn enemies actually, because the sworn enemies combo with like artificial life forms, worldwide chaos basically gives you like all of the most of the main villains. Like, this guy could have an absolutely insane leader skill and could be a very, very strong unit. But obviously, Kid Buu, LR Kid Buu, has been a meme for the longest time. We always joke on the channel that anytime anyone mentions LR Kid Buu, his release gets pushed back. So I guess maybe by making this video, it really won't happen this year after all. But this year, with the 10th anniversary, the 10th year being a very special year, they've done loads of crazy stuff. They've finally brought things to the game, or characters to the game, that people have been wanting to see for a while, including, like I say, the Hit and Kaioken and the Dokkan Fest Baby. So could we finally be in line for LR Kid Buu coming to the game? Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think Kid Buu will remain this like mythical unicorn that just never actually comes to the game? The big joke as well is that like LR Kid Buu will be released and then like the game will announce that it's shutting down like 2 weeks later or something, right? It'll be like the last thing that ever comes out many years from now potentially. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would you like to see a LR Kid Buu release this year? What would you like to see him release as, like Carnival LR, Dokkan Fest? What do you think his leader skill should be? All of that good stuff. Let me know everything you guys think about an LR Kid Buu down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.